Hey, what's happening, guys? Thank you for tuning into Rules for Rebels. In today's video, I'm actually looking for some feedback from you. I would appreciate your guys' feedback in the comment section below. So let me just get the question right out there and then I'll kind of elaborate a little bit. So I'm thinking about setting up like a personal blog, personal brand kind of website. Primary focus is going to be content, right? It's going to be very content heavy. It's going to be a blog. But here's the twist. I'm thinking about using Shopify as my blogging platform. Now, I kind of want feedback from you guys on this. If any of you guys are really knowledgeable in SEO, I'd love to hear, like, from an SEO perspective, is this good or bad? Any of you guys who are web designers, any of you guys who run affiliate sites, manage a personal brand site, have websites, build websites, anything like that, I would definitely appreciate some feedback from you. Here's kind of my thinking behind this. So obviously Shopify's main purpose, its main focus is e-commerce, right? And it does a fantastic job of that. There is also a blog element. Now, when it comes to, like, if anybody online on Reddit, on Quora, anything like that, we're like, hey, I'm thinking about starting a blog. Which platform should I start it on? 9 out of 10 answers are going to be the knee jerk, and with, justifiably so. WordPress is the best platform. WordPress runs a third of the internet. 90% of companies have their sites or blogs on WordPress. And I get it, right? WordPress is an amazing platform. It's very versatile. There's plugins for everything. Email collection, you can customize it. You have page builders. Like, WordPress, it really is an amazing platform. But myself, and I know a lot of other people out there, just like don't like, I don't know, I just don't like WordPress. It's got a little bit of a learning curve. I've sat down and tried to learn it, but, like, setting up a simple WordPress blog and just writing is fairly straightforward and fairly easy. But, like, if you start getting into design elements, like, oh, my logo's showing up this big and I want it this big, and I'll literally be at the point of, like, pulling my hair out trying to get everything exactly how I want it. Oh, my logo's to the left, I want it centered, and you got to mess with code. And I know there's page builders and things like that, but I've always found WordPress very frustrating. I just don't like the UI. I don't like the user interface. I don't like the experience. And because of that, I tend not to use it. So over the past 6 months or year, I've, most of my time is taken up by either YouTube or, my e-commerce businesses or other little hustles that I have going. So I don't have a ton of time to put into, like, building a personal website. But over the years, I started out doing Google's Blogger. I think I tried Squarespace briefly. I tried Weebly briefly. I tried Wix briefly. Wix is actually pretty cool in terms of getting the design elements how you want. Wix also has a lot of downsides. One of which is SEO. Wix for some period of time wasn't even ranking in Google. Something about how their site's set up. I know there was another downside to Wix is if you ever want to move to another platform. Wix, I think purposely so because they want to get your money every month. They don't have an option they don't have an easy way for you to export all your blog posts that you could go bring them over to WordPress or Squarespace or any other number of platforms. So if you start on Wix, you're pretty much stuck on Wix. Wix pages are really slow to load. It has a lot of downsides to it. So over the years, over the past few months, I've tried a number of different things. Haven't really been happy with anything. More recently, I've set up a WordPress blog. I haven't really done much with it. I've done very, very little blogging on it. And just I haven't been able to get it exactly how I want. I think it's frustrating having to, like, download all these different plugins and then having accounts associated with each one of these plugins, whether it be MailChimp or whatever else. So here's my thinking with using Shopify is first of all, everything's in one platform. So if you're doing e-commerce and you're going to have a blog tied to your e-commerce store, a lot of people say it's better to have your blog on Shopify because it's all on one place for, like, SEO purposes. You don't have a directory domain or a subdomain. Like, everything is in one place. So that's one of the good things about that. In terms of, like, what I'm thinking about starting here, there's going to be zero selling of products, at least right off the bat. This is going to be a content-heavy site. It's going to be strictly a blog. So I'm sure a lot of people's knee-jerk reaction is like, why would you use an e-commerce site for a blog? Well, here's what it is. I love Shopify, right? Without any coding knowledge, without even having an eye for design, you can put together a very streamlined, very clean, very professional-looking site. So that's one of the reasons I'm considering it. I've been using Shopify for several years for various e-commerce stores, so I'm just comfortable with the platform. I'm comfortable with the interface. I like using it, and one of the things is, like, I'm a big fan of, like, Do what works for you. Do what you're comfortable with. That's not to say that you should stay in your comfort zone, because if you never learn new skills, if you never step outside of your comfort zone, you're really limiting yourself. But to some extent, if you're not comfortable with a platform, you're not going to use it. And if you're not going to use it, what's the point of having it? So I would lean towards something that's a little bit less superior if I'm comfortable with it and I know I'm going to be using it more. But with Shopify, I mean, they have a whole app store with all different plugins. I can, if I want to do email capture, I can do that. They have plugins for almost everything else. The blog function of Shopify is a little bit weak, right? Like, you're not going to be able to do everything that you can do with WordPress in it, but you can do custom URLs. You can control the metadata in the blogs. You can put media in, so you can put pictures, I think charts, and videos within your blog posts. I'm not somebody who does like a ton of like crazy, icons and flowcharts and everything else in my blog. So I really don't need like a really extensive blogging platform like WordPress. Like, I'm just looking to put together some simple blogs. So I guess what I'm curious to hear from you guys is, am I stupid for thinking about using Shopify as a blogging platform or as kind of a personal brand website? Is that dumb? Are there any downsides to it in terms of SEO, lack of functionality or tools for blogs, etc., etc., etc.? Anything that you guys have to say, any feedback that you guys have, please drop it in the comment section below. I've seen in kind of some of Shopify's marketing materials and even some of Shopify's blogs, they have been like slowly a little bit trying to put a focus on like, hey, you could start a blog on Shopify. But it just, in terms of like adoption of people online and bloggers and everything else, nobody has really followed that or jumped on it, which, understandably, WordPress is the best blogging platform out there. But for people like me who aren't huge fans of WordPress, who don't really want to deal with the learning curve, who don't really like having to manage all that stuff, like, is Shopify a viable option? That's kind of really what I want to know from you guys. So again, right off the bat, it's really just going to be my personal website, kind of a home base for all my stuff. I might post YouTube videos on there. I might post post vlogs and stuff on there, post blogs on there. And down the road, I may incorporate some elements of e-commerce, but it's not going to be the focus of the site. So I may come up with like a Rules for Rebels like line of stuff and sell some t-shirts and mugs or whatever else. I may put some courses on there, and this is something like way down the road, but something I thought might be fun is a lot of you guys have your own private label products, your own brands, your own whatever else. I thought maybe I could kind of partner with some of you guys, and like if you guys want to sell some of your stuff through my site, maybe you give me a little bit of a discount. I kind of use you as a drop shipper. Another kind of what I thought might be a fun idea is I'm meaning to get back, as soon as I get back from Mexico, I'm heading out of town here shortly. I'm going to get back into doing the side hustle Tuesdays and maybe side hustle Thursdays. I might keep it at once a week instead of twice a week. But like one of the stories that I'm going to be covering coming up is a guy who got a 3D printer, made a mold, and is selling like mini concrete cinder blocks and bricks. So one of my ideas, and I mean, not that necessarily appeals to you guys, but one of my ideas is when we focus on it, when we share one of these Side Hustle Tuesday stories, if the subject of that story is interested, I would be happy to sell their products on my Rules for Rebels site. And hey, if you like this story and you think this is a cool product, here's where you can buy it, and I sell it on behalf of them. Maybe they give me a discount, so I make a little bit of money. So I might down the road try to incorporate some e-commerce, some commerce elements into it. But for all intents and purposes, it's going to be a content-heavy site, a blog, kind of a personal brand site. So let me know what you guys think. Give me some feedback. Give me some pros of doing this, some cons of doing this. I know, a lot of people are going to say, do WordPress, do WordPress, do WordPress. I get it, but is it a horrible, horrible idea to do Shopify? Let me know what you guys think. Drop a comment below. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button below, and I'll check you guys out on the next video.